I'm your mother, I'm your brother, I'm your sister, I'm your friend, I'm your father when you need one. I'll be here till the end. Hello, family, and welcome to the house at Vanderbilt, where you will sit back and don't spat, but have a meaningful conversation with all life forms. You can be black, brown, white, Protestant, Gentile, or Jew. Righty, lefty, MAGA, BLM, Antifa, and gay too. Because all are welcome here in this house. So sit back and relax and get on in here and cop a squat because the conversation is about to start.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Having some technical issues for a second there. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? All right, all right, all right, all right. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? All right, all right, all right. I think we got everything set now. Okay, we got everything going now. How's everybody? Happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. What's going on? I was having a few technical difficulties starting off this program, this episode this week, but I think we're back on board. Happy Sunday, and welcome to the house, my family and my friends. All right, I think this guy over here is starting up soon, but we are here. It's Sunday, and man, it has been a beautiful week. I pray that everybody has had a great week thus far. I pray that, anything that we was looking for to come to pass, anything that we were looking for to happen, anything that we're working on and we're striving to do that, hey, I pray that it's happening for you. I pray it's happening for you 100%. I pray it's happening for you. So, man, as always, let's start with a little bit of appetizers here. You know what I'm saying? Let's start with the fact that we got some great sponsors. We got some great sponsors, all right? We got Dubby Energy Drink always. Dubby is definitely doing it for us. It's definitely keeping my energy up. We've got Chuck's Candles over there at chuckscandles.com. Check them out for some of them great scented candles, you know what I'm saying? Check them out for some of those. And then, of course, we got VVHJ Management and Consultant Agency. Those guys are over there helping restaurants get their marketing right, helping them get back in the black when they're in the red, helping them get their teams right. You know what I'm saying? With over 30 years of experience in the entertainment and restaurant and food and service, beverage and all that world, they know what to do. So I'm saying, if you need some assistance and you have a restaurant, you're looking to do some things, you're looking to encourage your team, build that morale back up and all that, by all means, check them out, vvhjmanagement@gmail.com, or you can hit me up and I'll definitely get you in contact with them. All right, all right, all right. So we know it's Black History Month. It's our month. And if you ask me, every day is Black History Day. So, as long as I'm Black and I'm alive, it's always special. But with it being our month, we always want to pay homage and talk that good talk about us as a people. We've contributed so much to these United States of America, but yet a lot of times it's underappreciated. And we just want to make sure that during our month, not only are we loving on one another and we're celebrating one another, but we're supporting one another. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one thing that I have seen this month. I want to say again, thank you for all of this wonderful support. Seeing a couple of things, almost hit that viral link where you already at over 50,000 views on something, it's a blessing. It's a real blessing. So I want to say, I want to take the time to simply say thank you. Thank you for supporting a brother. Thank you for supporting this podcast. And thank you for keeping me going and keeping me inspired and keeping me wanting to do this. You know what I'm saying? So with that, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this dinner discussion today, man. Let's get into some meat and potatoes. I was thinking all week, I kept asking myself, what are we going to talk about this weekend? What is on your mind? And it was so many things, and you all know I love talking politics. I love talking about what we as Black, brown, and gay people have contributed to this world and how we get so shortchanged. Um, but one thing I want to talk about today is kind of on my heart is that famous phrase, forgive and forget. You know, we have lived that our entire lives. We were indoctrinated with that thought. You know, we were raised to believe that we always gotta forgive and forget. Let bygones be bygones. Let the past be the past. You know, and quite frankly, I think that's a little bit of bullshit, honestly. And I think I would have wish I would have got taught a little bit different when I was younger versus having to find these things out as an adult. Um, and then, you know, raising your own kids and teaching your own kids these exact same theologies, forgive and forget, you know what I'm saying? Turn the other cheek, you know, and all that, you know. Sometimes I revert back to the Old Testaments in the Bible just to get a reckoning of exactly what was the thought process then versus the New Testament then versus today's time. You know, in the Old Testament, it said an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You know what I'm saying? You kill my brother, I kill yours. You steal my sheep, I come and get two of yours. You know what I'm saying? An eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You know, and then something changed. Jesus came and he forgave all. And he passed on some good information. But it dawned on me that the Bible was rewritten by King James and his version of. And then I said, wow, I never, ever want to contest or say something negative about my God. That's something I won't do. But I will dang sure say something negative about these human beings that walk on the face of this earth and did do things in their own light and in their own way. And let's not forget, we got the WTF, are we doing wall behind me? So do know that there is a picture under there. We're going to talk about that. But forgiving and forgetting. You know, I wanted to go to a time when my life was actually taking off and things were changing in my world. And I said, okay, I'm going to take it back to 1993. You know, I was leaving. I had just left high school, you know, for good. I had just left high school for good. You know, Clinton was the president. There was a lot going on in 1993. You know what I'm saying? A lot of black men were going to prison between 1993 and 2001. Yeah, a lot of black men were going to prison. You know, crack was heavy on the streets. You know, the crack attack was heavy. It was killing our neighborhoods and killing our people, sending our boys and our girls to jail or to insane asylums and all that. You know what I'm saying? Tyler Perry's first play came out the year before that. You know, and he was coming on the scene, doing his thing, making women see that they were definitely on the downside of things, if to say the least. Bringing all of the household, you know, don't go outside and tell our business. He put it on the stage for you to see it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was a lot going on in those years, you know. Those were the years where sagging pants left the penitentiary and started hitting the streets on a major way. You know, those were those years, you know what I'm saying? And I think back on those years, you know, and I think about during that time, how mentally I was in a whole lot of different places. You know, I was struggling with who I was still. I was struggling with things that had previously happened to me in my life. And I was on this thing where I felt like as long as I was good and I was good to others and I didn't hold anything against anybody, things would be positive and they would come to me, you know, and that's pretty much what happened. I won't lie. It did happen in that way for me. But then in today's time and where I am today, I began to think again about some of those things that happened in the past. And then I started paying attention to the way I'm moving. And that's when the topic actually hit me. I forgave a lot of people in this second term of life. I forgave so many different people. But this time, I didn't forget shit you did. I ain't forget a damn thing. No, sir. No, sir. And see, that's what we was making our mistake at, and that's why I was making my mistake at, especially when it came to my own son and stuff like that, on teaching him certain things and how to do certain things and how to get by on certain things. You know, him and I was having some conversations, and it came to dawn on me that, hey, even though I taught him about forgiving and forgetting, I also taught him, don't be no fool for nobody. See, that was the part that my grandmother used to always say, but then there were so many other teaching wings in and around me that didn't sink in like it should have. You know, don't be no damn fool for nobody, period. And what I gather today and what I'm feeling about today is that did a lot to us, y'all. And we can forgive them for all of it, but hell, we ain't forgetting, because the minute you start forgetting, you liable to repeat some stuff. You liable to let some folks do something to you again. If not in the same way, in another way, but it's coming out to be the same outcome. And that's what we got to slow our roll and start thinking and start realizing that things have ways of resurfacing and coming back around. And if we don't do our homework and pay attention to what's already been done, it's going to shoot us in the foot again. So I went and I said, you know what? What was really going on then that was really hindering us? What was happening that hurt us so bad, but yet we didn't realize it until it was too late? And then I started actually going, damn, we started privatizing prisons real hard in those years. Now, a lot of people were really aimed at Clinton owned a lot of prisons. And what I've come to find out is, no, he doesn't own them, but it was during his terms, 2 times, his terms, where privatization of detention centers and prisons really came in real heavy, and it became a moneymaker. When we privatized those prisons, putting us in jail was the best thing for those companies' pockets at that time, and right now today, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get to today, but during that time, it was one of the best investments you could have made, the privatization of prisons. So I did some homework. And I found out that there were 2 companies that own the majority of private prisons. That's Core Civic and the GO Group. So then I tried to go and figure out who were the biggest stockholders in each one of those companies. And they wouldn't give me that. Excuse me. They wouldn't give me that. So then I did some more digging. And then I found out that people like Bank of America owns a lot of stock in those prisons and in those companies, Core Civic and the GO Group. You know, and I said, wow. So if Bank of America owns stock in these, then there's got to be some high rollers with some stock in these too. So I went digging more and more and more. And guess what the hell I found out? Do you wonder why your boy is so hell-bent on making all these detention centers? Now, if my dad was alive, I'll tell you what he would say. He would say, hell, they made them all for us and they locked our ass up, so make them for them and lock them up too. Huh. I ain't gonna go as far as that. I ain't gonna go as far as that because I don't think that people who have not committed a crime deserve to do any time. So I'm not gonna go as far as that. But where I am gonna go is they locked us up in mass order, man. They locked so many different people up, bro. From a dime bag of weed, they treated crack cocaine like you had ounces of coke on you. You know what I'm saying? Just to give you more time. They locked up black men more time and harder sentences than they did white men. You know what I'm saying? So then I'm thinking about this here and I'm going, man, they locked my dad up. My dad was in jail for 13 years, and I never knew that. I thought my dad was in college. I was a kid. When he called, that's what he would say. So, but they locked my dad up for a whole lot of years. And it wasn't for crimes that he actually did commit that should have been doing some major times. He actually got off on those. But the minor crimes is what they got him on. And they locked him up for a long time. So I look at the system, and one of the things I said this past week in one of my posts I spoke on, and I spoke on the fact that, you know what I'm saying, we tend to always, my arm started to feel something. We tend to always, how did I say that? I said, the government has always gotten a side eye from me. And I now figured out exactly why they always got that side eye from me. Now, mind you, I've never been to jail in my life, never seen the inside of a jail cell. Oh, yes, that's a lot. Well, not inside of a jail cell, but I've seen the inside of a holding block before for having a fight and a few other things, but never seen the inside of a real jail or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But they always got the side eye from me because of what they were doing to so many of my people. And though I have definitely forgiven a lot of things, I don't forget any of that. And I mean, for you all out there in this, on these nice little, worlds of internet world, I need y'all to start paying attention to the things you forgive. And I need you to start noticing that you don't need to forget it. Because, see, this government is set up in a way that it wants to just recycle and redo. I always tell y'all, they try something on one person or on one group of people, and then they come around and they do it to another group of people because by this time they've mastered it. So we were the first ones to be detained, imprisoned, locked up for long periods of time. And it was because there were major investments by some major players that this thing went on the way it did, because it was a money-making game. So then we fast forward to today, and we notice that there's a ton of detention centers that are trying to be being built. We notice that your boy, Agent Orange, is a person that's pushing that real hard. He's pushing for detention centers to be built in mass form. Now, here's the catch. Would you believe that your boy actually owns a lot of the stock in these privately owned prisons? Would you believe that Agent Orange has actual cash money inside of these privately owned prisons and detention centers? Would you go to know that your boy ain't just doing this because he's on some big parade of keeping his campaign promises? But at the end of the day, just like it's always for him, it's about that money, baby. It's about that money. See, your boy Agent Orange has quite a bit of stock in privately owned prisons. And why not build more if it's going to make him more money? This is his train of thought, not mine. But that's where we are. I'm noticing and I'm gathering and I'm getting information letting me know that he has money in it. So if he's got money in it, what do you think he's trying to do with it? He's trying to make some damn money. See, I want to talk to my brown brothers and sisters out there for a second. Y'all remember when we were getting locked up in droves? And I'm not saying y'all weren't getting locked up either. But y'all know us black folks was getting locked up way more than anybody else. Way more than anybody else on the planet. We was getting locked up left and right. Did you help us? Did you fight for us? Did you march for us? Did you get your brown ass out there and call your congressmen and your legislatures and your senators and talk to them about why they were locking up so many black people? See what I mean? We forgive you. But we can't forget about stuff like that. That's where we are today. Where we are today, we're in a place where everybody wants some help from everybody else. But when it was your turn to help, where were you? Where were you? It wasn't like we weren't begging for help. Hell, we wanted anybody to help us at that time. During the crack era and all that, we were asking for anybody's help. But we weren't getting any. We weren't getting any strong help at all. Fast forward to today's time. Now you have this man locking up brown people left and right. And here's the point I'm trying to make to you all. We forgive you. We ain't forgetting about it. But we are not you. That's the thing that y'all need to know about black people. See, we live by a code. Don't fuck with ours and we won't fuck with yours. And see, ours don't just mean our people is in our skin color all the time. Sometimes it mean our block. So if you live on our block, can't nobody from the other block come and mess with nobody on this block because you live on this block. So we got your back because you live on our block. It mean in our classroom. Man, don't mess with nobody in 301. That's our home team. That's our home room. Don't mess with nobody up in there. No matter whether you're brown, black, gay, white, indifferent. Don't mess with nobody in here. See, we live by a code of respect and honor. And that's where you all have lost. See, y'all jump on the bandwagons and you guys start roo-rooing and ha-ha with all these other different factions. Y'all be jumping on board with all these other people and you forget just how close you are to our melanated asses. Just how close your ancestors are to ours. And it hurts sometimes when you think about these things and think about these times and think about everything that was that has went on in these United States of America to the black man. The black man has had it the worst. The black man has truly had it the worst. And no one has ever come to try to save him. He's always had to get up and pull his pants up and, pull his shoes up by the bootstraps and get on out there and do what he got to do. He's got to make a way out of no way. The black woman has had to make scraps become a meal. And I'm not saying no other heritage or community has had to do that. But what I am saying is that when it's forced upon you, and you have no choice, that's different. So hell no, it's time out for that forgive and forget madness. We can't forget these things any longer, y'all. Because the more we put in our mind that we got to let things go and let the past be and leave that alone and all that other stuff, the more likely we are to repeat some things. They out here hanging us again, y'all. It's happening, to and few, but it's happening. Ain't no little black boys hanging themselves from trees. I'm sorry. If that boy would have been found in a shower, hanging from the shower curtain or something like that, it'd be more believable. But I will never forget how my grandmothers, both of them, told me stories. One grandmother who grew up in Mississippi in Belzona told me how she had to run with 2 children in her arms so that she wouldn't be burying one of them. My other grandmother told me about how she watched folks beat her neighbor over some bread. And you think I'm going to forget these things? I always wondered why I was always on the straight and narrow, and I never really had altercations with the cops, and I made sure I went this way if they were coming that way. And it didn't really hit me until I was grown enough in here in this recent years to notice that those stories that I constantly got told, those things that I was reminded of by news and other things that were going on in the world that reminded me instantly of why I don't do certain things, is because I never forgot that shit. I never forgot it. Now, every Caucasian white person is not like the white people of the past in these United States of America, because the majority of them in the past had ill feelings towards us just based off of our skin color. But when you think about it, it wasn't really just based off of your skin color. Think about it. 1% of black blood makes you black. Think about that. One drop of black blood in your system, you black. That will dominate practically anything else. Think about our minds. Of people who were brought here, enslaved, made to work, still able to invent things, learn things, teach things when you were not allowed to. Yeah, we have to forgive you in the present day for what your ancestors did. But we ain't forgetting. We will never forget. Here we have a man sitting in the White House right now, reminding us daily why we should never forget what we've been through, what our forefathers went through, what everybody practically in your life that's before you 50 years plus went through. For you to be able to walk these streets freely, do whatever you want, and literally live the life that you desire to live. And it still has sometimes a ceiling that you have to break through. Hence the phrase, break it through the glass ceiling. We are a people of strong, mighty strong heritage. We have forgiven everything that was done to us. We have taken the time to search ourselves and find a twinkle of forgiveness. I wanted to use another word, but no, that was too bad. I'll just go with forgiveness. But I'll be damned if I let mine, and I'll be damned if I let you think that you gotta forget that shit. Because you ain't gotta forget nothing. Don't ever forget it. Don't ever forget that they hung black men for trying to vote. Don't ever forget they put a literacy test on black men to try to vote. Don't ever forget that they didn't allow the black woman to do anything, practically anything, until what, the 50s, the late 50s, the early 50s? Is that when it was? Come on, y'all. We have a man literally tearing us down from the inside. He's inside this country, tearing this country down, making you realize that prejudice is definitely still right at the top. It's still right at the top. You have them out here parading and haranguing a man who was literally prejudiced. Literally prejudiced. That man who ran Turning Point USA, that young boy, he was a non-college educated boy who gained fame through being absolutely prejudiced. Absolutely prejudiced. The things he said about black, brown, and gay people were so atrocious that you shouldn't even repeat them. But the man said it. He said so many derogatory things about us, but yet, when he was killed, they paraded him around like he was a saint. They freaking let the flags down half-mast at the White House. This is what they did for the Kirk boy. This is what they did. But here you have a bona fide man who gave his young life to try to help us get to a better place. The man fought, walked, did everything right alongside Martin Luther King. And he dies and you give him no respect. That man, Agent Orange, went on TV the day Jesse Jackson died. Well, he didn't go on TV. Well, yes, he did. Yeah, he did. He went on TV and he made posts. But the day Jesse Jackson died, and he talked about how he was such a friend of his. Such a friend of his. But you turn that conversation totally into everything about himself. Everything. He went from saying how Jesse and him were friends back in his boxing days, right into how corrupt the world is and against him. That's not a friend. A friend would never take your death and turn it into something about him. He would honor you. He would make sure that your family and the people that followed you knew that you were worth everything in the world as a friend. As a friend. But he turned it all back around and made it all about his damn self. What type of friend is that? If that's the type of friends he got, he damn sure don't need no enemies. God rest his soul. But that's the type of thing right there that we need to pay attention to. Now, some would say, charge it to his head, not his heart. But here's my thing. Agent Orange, I forgive you because it's up here with you. It's an issue up here with you. But I will never forget the things you do and done. I could never forget that the exonerated five, you tried to send them the death penalty. You really wanted them boys to get the death penalty. I could never forget that. I could never forget that you and your father were hauled into court on not wanting to rent to black people. I can never forget that. I can never forget that they said that your father was in the Ku Klux Klan. I can never forget that. Excuse me. I can never forget that. I can never forget that you called African countries slum, nasty shithole places. I can't forget that. I can't not forget that. I can't forget the fact that every time you speak on a black woman that dares to challenge you, she's instantly uneducated and stupid and dumb. I can never forget that. I can never. I can never forget the fact that you literally called that black reporter. You told her she was. I think you called her fat, Miss Piggy. I can never forget that. I can never forget that you made fun of the handicapped reporter. I can never forget these things. These things are stuck in my head, and it makes me know your character. It lets me know that the character that you carry has no real heart for anybody of color descent. And that's facts. You got Mike Johnson peddling back after it all came out that he would not let the Reverend lay and stay in the rotunda or whatever of the house. This man was a civil rights icon. And you seriously would not let his body lay there and have people view him from all around the world? Because that's what would happen. But no, not for Jesse. Jesse ain't got the complexion. He ain't got it. So Jesse can't lay there. But you raised the flags half-staff for a prejudiced man who cared nothing about half the planet. That's how I look at it. We make up half, don't we? Black, brown, gay people, don't we make up half? That's the point. But here we go. I ain't forgetting none of that shit. And I advise y'all, start living this life and forgiving folks, but don't forget nothing that they do. So you won't be set up to ever have it happen again. You will never be set up to have it happen again if you don't forget it. Your guard will always be on point when it needs to be on point. When that sneaky mom come around you that you know don't like you, if you remember what it was that really y'all fell out about or what it is that they dislike you about, you'll also remember that don't let your guard down. Keep your guard up. Be ready at all times. Don't be a damn fool. Forgiving folks and forgetting the shit that they did to you, that's foolish. That's downright foolish if you ask me. It ain't gonna get us nowhere. It'll keep us repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating. So now, time out, folks. We're not forgetting anymore. And if you have been living your life and being, oh, that's in the past, leave it back there. No, I'm not saying this is something you should think about all the time and past should be the thing that's in the forefront of your head. Hell no, that's not what I'm saying. Nobody living their life like that. We ain't got time for that. No, that ain't it. But what I am saying is that I'd be damned if I forget about something you done did to me and let you sneak up on me and do it again. And that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Do know that. Do know that. So, We ain't with that no more. We ain't with the forgiving and forgetting no more. We with the forgiving and remembering. Because I'm still into forgiving. I'm definitely a person who's going to be like, yeah, you made a mistake. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? But trust you me, I'm going to walk around you every step of the way and watch everything you do. You are always going to be on the skeptical side to me. I ain't fucking with you like that. Oh, no, buddy. That's the shit you gotta watch. That's the shit you gotta watch it. Don't be nobody's fool. Remember the things that people have done to you so that you do not end up recycling and doing the same thing and allowing yet another person or someone else to do the exact same thing to you in a different manner. Stay focused. Stay alert. And know that they trying. They damn sure trying. They trying hard to take us back. But we ain't going back. Not at all. I need y'all to realize something. As a black gay man, I'm telling y'all this. Gay folks ain't forgot shit y'all ever done it in my island. Do know that. And you need to stop walking around here like they hurting you or doing something just by existing. Because that ain't going to help you for the long run. This man will be out of office in 2028. Come January the 20th, 2029, he will be no longer in existence. And I'm telling you right now, he's running to Russia or running somewhere else. I don't think he'll even stay here because I think that there's some consequences that he may have to face. But when he's gone and all this rhetoric is gone and all this, oh, we only have two genders and this, that, and the other. I said it before and I say it again. I ain't never known a trans person that was trying to make a third gender. Hell, they just either wanted to be a man or they wanted to be a woman. They never bothered me. I really don't care because it ain't got nothing to do with my body. Let them folks alone. Let them folks live. Let them live and let them be. When we start learning to mind our own business and stop worrying about everybody else's household, we'll learn a hell of a lot. Them folks ain't did nothing for you to forgive or forget when it comes to them in their lives. So why don't you forgive yourself for being an asshole? And don't forget you being an asshole so you don't have to be an asshole anymore. Because that's where this world needs to be headed. We need to be headed to a place where we're not worried about what other people are doing, but we're worried about what they're going to do to you and I. That's where we need to be going. We don't need to sit up and worry about what somebody does behind their closed doors. But what we are concerned with is what they do in the public. That might be a different story, a horse of a different color. Somebody dressing up the way they want to and doing what they want to do, I don't give a damn. I knew how to tell my children when they were growing up exactly what is and what ain't. And I pray that you know how to tell your children exactly what is and what ain't. But teach them respect. Teach them that in order for your name to have honor on it, it must be respected. And in order to get respect, you must give respect. Teach them that. And stop teaching them this BS that just because they're different, just because they look different, just because they talk different, that somehow you're better than them. Because that ain't the fact. Some of us are better off than others. This is true. But we all got to do the same thing. Show as we live, we sure gonna die. Show as we live, we sure gonna die. So all I'm saying is, Jorge, I'm finna get you. I'm coming at you. All I'm saying is, people, this is my thing. We ain't forgiving and forgetting. We forgiving and remembering. Because the remembering is the lesson. It keeps us from making the same mistake over and over again, or allowing the same mistake to be made over and over again. That's where we are. That's where we need to be going, y'all. And that's what we need to be doing. Man, thank y'all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love the fact that we're able to have these conversations. I love the fact that things are starting to grow. I love the fact and appreciate the support from each and every one of y'all. WTF are we doing, Wall? Man, y'all already know who up here. And if you don't, you should have. Y'all know I was coming with him. Y'all know I was coming with him. Man, they wouldn't let this man lay and stay. Man, they wouldn't let they wouldn't even raise the flags down. Talk about forgiving and forgetting, y'all. Man, I know this man forgave some stuff. But I ain't even gonna go on in that. I'm gonna tell a cool little story about Jesse Jackson because I love me some Jesse Jackson. I really do. And I really did. So back in 2000 and what was it, 90? No, it was about 1999. It was 99. They were on the Poverty Tour. It was right before Clinton was getting ready to leave office. No, it was 2000. It was 2000. It was Poverty Tour 2000. It's right before Clinton was leaving office that next year. And he decided to bring him and his cabinet to Memphis, Tennessee. And so I told y'all the story about me ended up waiting on President Clinton, which I did. I actually was taking care of Newt Gingrich, President Clinton, and Jesse Jackson. They were the three at the top of the table. So I'm taking care of them. Mind you, I was still, and this is what tells you, you know, how you grow up. I never knew that preachers actually cursed. I never knew preachers cursed. That was the funniest thing to me. I never knew that preachers actually did use swear words, and they used them in public. So I was, servicing them, taking care of them, getting water, getting food, making sure everything is cool and everything. And it was at one point I was getting ready to put something in front of the Honorable Mr. Jackson, and I'm putting something in front of him, and I hear him use the word ass. I was like, and he said something to the nature of dumbass, and I was like, wait a minute. That didn't just happen. So, of course, now I'm really intrigued by it. So I leave the table, go grab something else so I can come back over there because they're in full conversation. So I come back over there, and this time he uses another word of profanity, which I'm not going to say, but he used quite a few words. And I was in total shock because this is the Reverend Jesse Jackson, y'all. And the man was cussing up a storm. So, in honor of Jesse Jackson and his wonderful life and the many contributions that he made to these United States of America, though everybody may have their own thoughts and all these other different things when it comes to Jesse, they'll say, he did this, he did that. Hey, this man was a black man. He definitely worked to help us further ourselves in these civil rights moments. So I just want to say, man, God bless Jesse. May he be in heaven. I pray he is. I pray the Lord and our Savior has swept him on up to his family. Man, love and respect. Praying for you all. But at the end of the day, he was worth more than they gave him at that White House this year. He was worth more, y'all. They could have showed a little bit more respect. We're going to forgive him, but we damn sure ain't going to forget. Have a blessed week, y'all. May everything you need come to you. May everything you desire come to you. And may things that you don't even know that you want right now come to you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. See y'all next week.